Let's talk about betrayal, a word that hits like a punch to the gut. Whether it's a friend, a partner, or someone you trusted, the pain is undeniable. But here's the truth. Betrayal doesn't have to break you. It can become your greatest ally in becoming the strongest version of yourself. When betrayal strikes, it feels personal, doesn't it? Like they took something from you. Your trust, your love, your security. But here's the first breakthrough. They didn't take your power. That's yours, and no one, not even the deepest betrayal, can steal it unless you give it away. The first step to transforming pain into power is to stop asking, why did this happen to me? And start asking, what can I create from this? That shift from victim to creator changes everything. See, life doesn't happen to you. Life happens for you. Even in betrayal, there's a lesson, a gift, a chance to rise. You might be thinking, how can I see this as a gift? It hurts too much. I hear you. But pain is the ultimate teacher. It exposes your wounds, your vulnerabilities, and your strengths. Betrayal gives you clarity about who belongs in your life and who doesn't. It strips away illusions and shows you the truth, not about them, but about you. And once you see that truth, you're unstoppable. Here's the second breakthrough. Pain is energy. And energy is neutral until you decide what to do with it. You can use it to sit in bitterness, replaying the betrayal in your mind. Or you can use it to ignite something extraordinary, a new passion, a new purpose, a new you. Pain is one of life's greatest teachers. When betrayal strikes, it feels like the universe is punishing you, but in truth, it's offering you a powerful opportunity for growth. Pain forces you to pause and reflect. It demands that you confront parts of yourself in your life that you might have ignored. It shines a light on the cracks in your foundation, not to break you, but to help you rebuild stronger. Think about it. When everything is going well, how often do we stop to evaluate who we are, what we want, or where we're headed? Comfort doesn't challenge us, but pain doesn't whisper, it roars. It pushes us to ask tough questions. What do I truly value? Who do I allow into my life? What boundaries do I need to set? Pain has a way of stripping away illusions and showing us the raw truth, not just about others, but about ourselves. In betrayal, pain teaches us about resilience. It reveals the strength we didn't know we had. It forces us to dig deeper than ever before, to find the courage to stand up and move forward when it feels impossible. It's in these moments of despair that we learn we are more capable, more resourceful, and more powerful than we ever believed. Pain also teaches us to let go. Holding on to anger and resentment might feel like protecting ourselves, but in reality, it keeps us chained to the past. Pain invites us to release those emotions, not as an act of weakness, but as a declaration of freedom. It shows us that healing isn't about forgetting what happened, it's about transforming the experience into wisdom. Ultimately, pain teaches us that life isn't about avoiding hardship, it's about using hardship to grow. It's a guide, a mentor, and sometimes even a blessing in disguise. While the sting of betrayal can feel unbearable, the lessons it brings can reshape your life in ways you never imagined. If you choose to embrace the pain and learn from it, you'll come out stronger, wiser, and more aligned with your true self. Breaking the victim cycle begins with a decision. The decision to no longer let betrayal define who you are or dictate your future. When someone betrays you, it's easy to fall into the trap of self-pity, reliving the hurt over and over again. You feel wronged, helpless, and maybe even powerless. But the truth is, staying in that place gives the person who hurt you even more control over your life. The first step to breaking the victim cycle is recognizing that while you didn't choose what happened to you, you have full control over how you respond to it. Being a victim keeps you stuck. It encourages you to dwell on the pain and replay the betrayal like a bad movie on repeat. But every time you do, you reinforce the idea that you're powerless. To break free, you have to take ownership of your story. That doesn't mean excusing what happened or pretending it didn't hurt. It means refusing to let the betrayal become your identity. Shifting out of the victim mindset requires reframing the situation. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Start asking, what can I do with this experience? This isn't about blaming yourself for someone else's actions. It's about reclaiming your power by focusing on what's within your control. You can't rewrite the past, but you can decide how the next chapter of your life will unfold. Breaking the victim cycle also means letting go of the desire for justice or revenge. Waiting for an apology or hoping the betrayer will feel your pain only keeps you tied to them. True freedom comes when you stop seeking closure from them and start creating it for yourself. This is your chance to rise above, to show yourself that you're not defined by what someone else did to you. It's not easy. It takes courage and determination to shift from being a victim to becoming the hero of your story. But the moment you decide to stop giving the betrayal power over you, everything changes. You take back control of your emotions, your choices, and your life. You move from a place of helplessness to one of empowerment. And in doing so, you not only heal, you thrive. Pain, while deeply uncomfortable, carries immense power hidden within it. When we experience betrayal, the immediate reaction is often to view the pain as a destructive force, something that tears us down and leaves us broken. But pain, when understood and harnessed, is anything but destructive. It is transformative. It holds the energy needed to fuel growth, change, and resilience. When you're in the depths of pain, it's like holding a fire in your hands. At first, all you feel is the burn, and the instinct is to drop it, to escape it. But if you pause, if you look closer, you'll see that this fire is also a source of light and warmth. Pain has the same duality. It can destroy or it can illuminate. It's the fuel that can drive you to new heights, provided you learn how to direct it. Pain forces you to confront your limits, and more importantly, expand them. It pushes you out of your comfort zone, which is where growth is in. Every great achievement, every moment of triumph is often preceded by struggle. Pain clears the path for transformation by stripping away the unnecessary and revealing what truly matters. It challenges you to rethink your priorities, reevaluate your relationships, and rediscover your inner strength. Betrayal, specifically, generates an intense form of pain, one that touches your trust, your sense of self, and your emotions. But this same intensity can become a wellspring of power. Pain compels action. It motivates you to make changes, to set new boundaries, to pursue goals that align with your values. The hurt you feel can be channeled into creating something extraordinary, a stronger version of yourself, a new vision for your future, or even a mission to help others heal. The key is recognizing that pain is not the enemy. It's a teacher. It's energy. And like any form of energy, it's neutral until you decide how to use it. You can let it consume you, or you can let it propel you. The choice is yours. Every time you channel pain into action, you reclaim your power. Every time you use it to fuel your growth, you turn it into a tool for transformation. Pain is the birthplace of resilience, creativity, and strength. It's in the moments when life feels the hardest that you discover what you're truly capable of. So while it may not feel like it in the moment, pain is power in disguise. It's up to you to unveil it and let it transform you into the person you were always meant to become. Emotions are often seen as overwhelming forces that control us, especially during moments of betrayal. The heartbreak, anger, sadness, and confusion can feel like waves crashing over you, leaving you drowning in their intensity. But emotions aren't meant to be your enemies. They are tools, powerful ones that can guide you, teach you, and help you rebuild. The key lies in learning to recognize and harness them instead of being controlled by them. Every emotion you feel after betrayal has a purpose. Anger, for instance, is a signal. It tells you that your boundaries have been crossed, that something deeply important to you has been violated. Instead of suppressing that anger or letting it consume you, you can use it to fuel action. Anger as energy can motivate you to set firmer boundaries, to protect your values, and to take charge of your life. Properly directed, it becomes a driving force for transformation. Sadness, on the other hand, is often viewed as a weakness, but it's actually a sign of depth and connection. It reflects the loss of something meaningful, whether it's trust, a relationship, or a vision of the future. Sadness helps you process that loss and honor what was important to you. By allowing yourself to feel it fully, you open the door to healing. It's not about staying in sadness, it's about understanding it, acknowledging it, and letting it pass through you. Even fear, which can be paralyzing, has its role. Fear often surfaces as a protective mechanism, warning you of potential harm. While it might urge you to retreat, it can also teach you to be cautious and intentional about your next steps. Instead of letting fear keep you stuck, you can use it to prepare yourself, to strengthen your resolve, and to move forward with clarity. Emotions are tools because they give you information. They tell you where you stand, what matters to you, and what needs attention. Betrayal brings a storm of emotions, but within that storm lies a map, one that can guide you toward understanding yourself better. When you take the time to listen to what your emotions are saying, you gain insight into your needs, your values, and your priorities. The real power of emotions lies in your ability to channel them. When you stop viewing emotions as things that happen to you and start seeing them as tools you can use, you take back control. You can transform anger into determination, sadness into reflection, and fear focus. This doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring your emotions. It means feeling them fully and then choosing how to respond. Emotions are like fire. They can burn and destroy if left unchecked, but they can also provide light and warmth when managed properly. When you recognize emotions as tools, you turn betrayal into an opportunity. You stop being a victim of what you feel and start becoming the master of how you use those feelings to rebuild your life. Rebuilding after betrayal is not just about putting the pieces of your life back together. It's about creating something better, stronger, and more aligned with who you are. The pain of betrayal as devastating as it feels, offers a chance to reassess and redefine your life with intention. It's a wake-up call, a moment to decide not just to recover, but to rebuild with a clear and meaningful purpose. When betrayal shakes your foundation, it often reveals cracks that were already there. Perhaps you compromised too much of yourself, ignored red flags, or placed your trust in someone who didn't deserve it. This is the moment to reflect deeply, not with blame or guilt, but with curiosity. What lessons can you take from this experience? What do you want to create moving forward? Rebuilding with purpose begins with clarity, understanding what matters most to you and why. Rebuilding isn't about rushing to fill the void left by betrayal. It's about constructing something that truly reflects your values and aspirations. This could mean strengthening your boundaries, focusing on personal growth, or pursuing goals you may have set aside. It's a chance to rediscover yourself, to prioritize your needs, and to ensure that what you build moving forward is rooted in authenticity and strength. A key part of rebuilding with purpose is shifting your focus from what was lost to what can be gained. It's easy to dwell on the pain, the betrayal, and the person who hurt you. But real healing happens when you turn your attention inward and ask, what do I want to create from this experience? How can I grow from this? This shift transforms you from a passive recipient of life's challenges into an active creator of your future. Rebuilding with purpose also means surrounding yourself with the right people, those who uplift, support, and respect you. Betrayal often exposes toxic dynamics or relationships that no longer serve you. This is an opportunity to cultivate connections that align with your values and contribute positively to your life. It's about building a community of trust and mutual respect where you can thrive without fear of being let down. The process of rebuilding is not linear. There will be setbacks, moments of doubt, and times when the pain resurfaces. But every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. The purpose you define for yourself becomes your guiding light, pulling you through the tough moments and reminding you why the effort is worth it. Rebuilding with purpose is about more than just healing, it's about transformation. It's about turning a painful chapter into the foundation for a new, empowering story. When you rebuild with intention, you're not just recovering what was lost. You're creating something far greater than you had before. And in doing so, you prove to yourself that no betrayal, no matter how deep, can keep you from living the life you deserve. Defining your standards is one of the most powerful steps you can take after experiencing betrayal. Betrayal often leaves you questioning what you allowed into your life, whether it was the behavior of others, the boundaries you set, or even how much you compromise your values. This is the moment to take back control and establish the rules by which you'll live moving forward. Your standards are your personal code of conduct, the boundaries that protect your peace, and the expectations that ensure you respect and love you deserve. When you define your standards, you begin by reflecting on what truly matters to you. Betrayal often exposes areas where your standards may have been unclear or too flexible. Perhaps you overlooked warning signs, tolerated disrespect, or ignored your instincts. Defining your standards means deciding what you will and won't accept in your relationships, your career, and your life as a whole. It's about setting the bar higher, not out of bitterness or defensiveness, but out of a deep respect for yourself. This process isn't about building walls to shut others out. It's about creating healthy boundaries that keep you safe and align with your values. Clear standards act as a filter, helping you attract the right people and situations while weeding out those who don't align with your principles. When your standards are strong, you no longer have to second-guess your decisions or compromise your well-being to accommodate others. Standards also involve self-accountability. It's not just about what you expect from others, it's about the standards you hold for yourself. How do you treat yourself? Do you honor your own needs and priorities, or do you consistently put them last? Do you follow through on your commitments to yourself, or do you let them slide? Raising your standards starts with how you show up for yourself every day. The beauty of defining your standards is that it empowers you to live intentionally. You're no longer at the mercy of external circumstances or other people's behavior. Instead, you take control of your life by deciding what you want and what you won't tolerate. This clarity makes decision-making easier. When faced with a situation, you can simply ask, does this align with my standards? If the answer is no, you have the power to walk away without guilt or hesitation. Forgiveness is often misunderstood, especially after betrayal. Many people think of forgiveness as excusing someone's actions or letting them off the hook, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Forgiveness is not about the person who hurt you, it's about reclaiming your freedom. When you hold on to anger, resentment, or the desire for revenge, you remain tied to the betrayal and the person who caused it. Forgiveness is the act of cutting that cord, of freeing yourself from the weight of the pain so you can move forward with your life. After betrayal, the emotions are raw and overwhelming. You may feel justified in holding on to your anger. In some ways, that anger can feel protective. But over time, that anger becomes a burden. It consumes your energy, clouds your thoughts, and keeps you stuck in the past. Forgiveness is not about condoning what happened or pretending it didn't hurt. It's about deciding that you will no longer allow the betrayal to control your present or dictate your future. Forgiving someone doesn't mean you have to reconcile or let them back into your life. Forgiveness is an internal process, a gift you give yourself. It's a decision to release the grip that the betrayal has on your mind and heart. When you forgive, you're not saying what you did is okay. You're saying, I choose not to carry this pain anymore. Forgiveness also means recognizing that holding on to resentment doesn't punish the betrayer, it punishes you. While they may have moved on with their life, your life reliving the hurt. Forgiveness is how you break that cycle. It's how you take back your power and shift the focus from what was done to you to what you can do for yourself. The process of forgiveness takes time, and it's okay to move at your own pace. It begins with acknowledging the pain and allowing yourself to feel it fully. You can't forgive what you don't confront. Once you've processed the emotions, you can start to see forgiveness as a way of letting go. It's not about forgetting, it's about learning from the experience and deciding to move forward with strength and wisdom. Forgiveness also requires self-compassion. Betrayal can leave you questioning your own judgment or blaming yourself for what happened. Part of forgiving the other person involves forgiving yourself. Understand that you did the best you could with the knowledge you had at the time. Give yourself permission to heal without carrying the burden of guilt or shame. Ultimately, forgiveness is a choice, a powerful one. It's a declaration that you refuse to be defined by what happened to you. It's a statement of freedom, a commitment to your own happiness and peace. Forgiveness doesn't erase the past, but it does clear the path to a brighter future. By letting go, you relearn your focus. It's not easy, but it's worth it because it isn't for them, it's for you. Growth doesn't happen in the calm, it happens in the storm. When betrayal shakes the ground beneath your feet, it feels like everything is falling apart. But within the chaos, there's an opportunity, a chance to grow, to evolve, and to become stronger than you ever thought possible. The storm may feel like it's tearing you down, but it's actually preparing you for something greater. Growth begins with perspective. When you're in the middle of the storm, it's easy to focus on the pain, the injustice, and the loss. But every storm carries lessons if you're willing to look for them. Betrayal forces you to confront your beliefs, your values, and your choices. It pushes you to ask hard questions. What do I truly want? What will I no longer tolerate? How can I use this experience to become better? These questions are the seeds of growth, and the answers will guide you toward transformation. The storm tests your resilience. It challenges you to dig deep and find strength you didn't know you had. It teaches you that you can endure and rise again, even when it feels like the world is against you. Growth doesn't come from avoiding the storm, it comes from facing it head on, embracing the discomfort, and using it as fuel to propel you forward. Each step you take, no matter how small, builds your inner strength and fortifies your character. Growth through the storm also means shedding what no longer serves you. The winds of betrayal often blow away illusions, revealing the truth about your relationships, your boundaries, and your priorities. This clarity, though painful, is a gift. It allows you to let go of what's holding you back and make room for what will help you thrive. It's not about forgetting the storm, it's about using it to clear a path for a brighter future. The process of growth requires patience. Storms don't pass overnight, and neither does healing. But with each step you take, you'll notice the changes within yourself. You'll become more self-aware, more intentional, and more aligned with your values. The storm will leave its mark, but it will also leave you stronger, wiser, more resilient. Remember, growth doesn't mean the pain disappears, it means you learn to carry it differently. You transform it into a source of strength, using it to fuel your journey forward. The storm may have knocked you down, but it also gave you the chance to rise again, stronger and more determined than ever. So embrace the storm, not because it's easy, but because it's where transformation happens. Growth isn't about avoiding the challenges, it's about becoming the person who can thrive because of them. Through the storm, you don't just survive, you evolve, becoming the strongest, most authentic version of yourself. Pain, especially the kind that comes from betrayal, can feel like an insurmountable obstacle. It hits you at your core, shaking your sense of trust and self-worth. In the midst of such intense emotions, it's easy to feel like the pain will define you, that it will be the story of your life. But what if I told you that this pain doesn't have to be something that holds you back? What if it could be the foundation of something powerful, something that leaves a lasting impact on the world? Pain, when channeled correctly, has the potential to become the driving force behind your legacy. Your pain, as deep and raw as it may feel right now, holds lessons that no one else can teach you. It's an experience that will shape you, but it doesn't have to define your entire story. When you decide to turn pain into your legacy, you're taking the most difficult moments of your life and using them to create something meaningful. Instead of being trapped by your pain, you become the person who rises from it stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Your legacy in this sense is not about the pain itself, but what you do with it. When you transform pain into your legacy, you begin by embracing it. Acknowledge that it is a part of you, but it doesn't have to be the whole story. Use it as fuel, as motivation to build something that speaks to who you are and what you stand for. This could mean using your experience to help others who are going through similar struggles, creating a message of hope and empowerment. Perhaps it's channeling your energy into something creative, a book, a movement, a cause that allows you to share your journey and the lessons you've learned along the way. The key to turning pain into a legacy lies in your perspective. It's about seeing the value in your experience, not as something to be ashamed of, but as something that gives you the strength to create change. When you allow your pain to transform you, you also transform the way others see their own struggles. Your story becomes a beacon for others to see that they too can rise from their pain and create something extraordinary. Turning pain into your legacy requires action. It's not enough to simply feel the pain and hope for change. You have to decide to do something with it. This means showing up every day, even when it feels easier to hide away. It means using your experiences to fuel your passion, to push through your fears, and to stand tall, knowing that you are not defined by your pain, but by what you choose to create because of it. Your legacy is built on what you leave behind, the impact you have on others, the lessons you share, and the example you set. When you choose to turn your pain into a force for good, it becomes your gift to the world. Instead of looking back at betrayal with regret or anger, you look forward with purpose and determination. Your legacy becomes a story of resilience, transformation, and the power of choosing to rise above life's hardest challenges. Pain may be inevitable, but how you use it is up to you. It can either remain a wound that defines you, or it can become the foundation of your greatest accomplishments. Turning pain into your legacy is about making the choice to be stronger than your circumstances, to create something meaningful from the hardest parts of your journey, and to leave a mark on the world that proves that no matter what, you can always rise again. And once you see that truth, you're unstoppable. Think about this. Some of the greatest achievements in history came from people who turned their pain into power. They didn't let betrayal define them. They used it to redefine themselves. And so can you. How? First, release the anger and bitterness. Not for their sake, but for yours. Forgiveness isn't weakness. It's taking back control. It's saying, I won't let your actions control my emotions. Next, rebuild trust. But don't start with others, start with yourself. Betrayal makes you doubt your own judgment, doesn't it? You wonder, how could I not see this coming? Let go of that guilt. Trust yourself to learn, to grow, to become wiser. And finally, commit to rising. Not just surviving, but thriving. Create a vision of who you want to be, and let this experience fuel your transformation. Betrayal isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of a comeback so powerful, they'll wonder how you did it. Because here's the truth, life isn't about avoiding pain. It's about what you do with it. Will you let it break you? Or will you let it build you into someone stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable than ever? The choice is yours. Transform pain into power. Your story isn't over, it's just getting started.